I've been very excited to see the new live-action Barbie movie since I first saw that Margot Robbie would be fittingly playing the role of Barbie in one of my mini checks of her IMDb to see if there's anything new there to watch. I never had much interest in watching the animated films. I had babysat a terrifying child once who wanted to watch the Rapunzel one on repeat all day, and I've been scared ever since. Last year, I was recommended those Brats Out of Context videos, and I was so entertained that I actually started to watch the show, and there I began to appreciate the doll-to-animation world. A few weeks ago, Leanne Thompson built a Barbie-themed room and watched all 42 movies. In watching this, I found out the horror that there are 42 of these, but I also saw his pure joy in watching all of them, so I decided to try to buzz through all of them before the live film comes out and create a ranking of my personal favorites. Here we go. Coming in last place at number 42 is Barbie and Her Sisters in a Ponytail from 2013. I hate this one. I do not support humans riding horses, and this is so brutal for a kids' movie. I do really enjoy the song You Are the One, but that's all I've got for this one. Number 41, Barbie and the Secret Door from 2014. This is one of the ones that I was most excited to see based off the title, but it ended up being one of my least favorites. I don't even want to recap it. Let's just say there's a lot of animal abuse with the capturing of them and horseback riding. Number 40, Barbie and Rock and Roll Royals from 2015. I watched these chronologically, and at this point I was starting to wonder if any of the remaining dozen were going to be good. Princess Courtney goes to a royal camp, and Erica goes to one that's basically Camp Rock, but they switch places. It was just boring to me. They made Camp Rock and tried to add a bit of royal into it. Number 39, Barbie Video Game Hero from 2017. As someone who hates the gaming takeover and social interactions these days, I'm not a fan of this. Barbie enters her video game and plays as a figure skater. She has to save the planet from being taken over, which she does, and then exits and is her human self again, gaming online with her friends. There are a couple scenes that are a little nostalgic to old side-scroll video games, but it's really not that good overall. Number 38 is Barbie in Princess Power from 2015. Barbie is trying to break into the superhero universe, and it's awful. Princess named Kara, of course it's Kara, gets kissed by a magic butterfly that gives her superpowers. Super Sparkle wants to take over, but Kara uses her newfound powers to fight back with the help of her friends. Barbie should stick to the fairy and mermaid stories. Those were the best. Number 37, Barbie Spy Squad from 2016. Slightly better than Princess Power, but not by much. In this one, Barbie and her friends are gymnasts who get into spy work, but get fired but keep working anyway. Number 36, Barbie, A Perfect Christmas from 2011. Barbie and her sisters try getting to New York to spend Christmas with their aunt, but things keep going wrong. They get upset that their perfect Christmas is ruined, but then realize that it is perfect as long as they're together. I'm not a big fan of this one. In my notes I wrote the children look demented and the storyline is bland. I'm not sure if it was autocorrect that says the children look demented or if the characters actually do. I actually have no recollection of this because I watched it about 2 weeks ago. Number 35, Barbie and A Christmas Carol from 2008. The Barbie version of the classic A Christmas Carol. I have seen way too many of these in my Hallmark movies, and I'm kind of sick of them. In this, Eden is a sour actress who lives by the motto, "You need to be selfish to succeed in this selfish world." And sadly, I do think that holds true to a certain degree. After being shown the error of her ways, she gives everyone work bonuses and time off, as well as visits an orphanage. This one is okay, but the message is too true in the real world right now, and the story lacks originality. Number 34, Barbie Skipper and the Big Babysitting Adventure from 2023. This one only has Skipper, Barbie's younger sister. She's a babysitter but loses business after bad reviews, so she gets a job at a water park instead. While there, she sets up a babysitting area for kids that are too small to ride the rides. The park owner's daughter blackmails her into doing the shitty jobs for her, or she'll tell her dad about the bad reviews that she has, but everything works out in the end. I don't love this one. It feels like a spin-off more than a Barbie movie. The writers were also trying too hard with the dialogue. The waves look pretty crunchy today, and a letter, are we back in ancient times or something, are both quirky lines that we got. There's also a Rocky Horror Picture Show reference where someone says, anticipation, which is an odd thing to reference when you're trying to be down with the kids these days, but I don't know. I personally like Rocky, so I'll take that one. Number 33, Barbie, Big City, Big Dreams from 2021. Barbie attends an art academy with another Barbie who quickly becomes her friend until someone frames main Barbie of hurting new Barbie to steal her spotlight. They find proof that it wasn't intentional, and they end up performing together in the final performance with an insane $1 million stage setup. Number 32, Barbie Mermaid Power from 2022. The newest bunch of these all seem to surround the family of Barbie and her sisters, whereas before they were unique characters with a couple of individual sequels. I personally preferred those, but this was okay. Barbie and her friend, other Barbie, become mermaids to help save Pacifica after her mermaid friend summons her. All of the Barbies perform tests to find out if they're earth, air, water, or fire mermaids. They save Pacifica and perform in a water dance with fireworks that I'm sure are magically safe for the sea life. Number 31, Barbie Dolphin Magic from 2017. This movie starts with a dolphin getting captured, so it didn't start the best for me. Barbie and her sisters visit Ken on an island, and one of the girls snaps a picture of a mermaid underwater. That mermaid is friends with the dolphin and has the girls help her free her dolphin friend, which they do. Number 30, Barbie Princess Adventure from 2020. They've already done this plot before, and even then it was already stolen from model behavior. A princess asks a vlogger to switch places and get a break from royal life. She learns how to make a better difference with her title and decides to make a princess vlog herself to reach more people. I don't like the influencer culture being thrown in movies, but it's an okay watch. Number 29, Barbie as the Princess and the Pauper from 2004. This one is a musical, which I do usually enjoy, but in movies aimed at this young of an audience, I'm usually just annoyed by it, which is the case here. Princess Annalise runs into her long-lost twin, sister-sister style. The twin is a poor seamstress named Erica, and their obvious physical difference is that one is blonde and one is brunette. Annalise gets kidnapped, and Erica impersonates her to keep the castle calm. Eventually, Annalise gets free and admits her love for her best friend, and Erica is finally free of her horrible job, but chooses to stay in town anyway for a guy. I don't love it, but I guess this is a fan favorite. I'm very curious as to why. There's also a lot of animal abuse in this one. Serafina is a cat who gets thrown out of the house, and another cat gets kicked, while horses are used to pull carriages. It ends with those fake cartoon bloopers, so that's fun, I guess. Number 28, Barbie Epic Road Trip from 2022. This is an interactive movie, which I generally don't like. It's frustrating not knowing if you've seen every scene without rewatching it 1,000 times. Both Barbies and Ken are planning a road trip. The first choice is if they'll do their road trip based on destiny or dreams. I chose dreams. Next choice is the express route or the scenic route. I chose scenic. Next choice is to go to a dinosaur amusement park or deliver a dog to its forever home. That's an easy choice for me. Doggy got a home. Ken asks Malibu Barbie to go on a picnic. She agrees, and then Brooklyn Barbie asks her to stay for a bonfire. I chose the picnic since Ken asked first. The girls accidentally give the wrong dog to a new owner, and the choice to catch up with him is to ride an animal or a hang glide. As someone who's very against riding animals, that choice was also easy. Hang gliding it is. Ken invites Malibu Barbie to watch a meteor shower, and she thinks it's a group thing, but he meant for it to be one-on-one, and is offended by her assumption. She has a choice of watching the shower alone with him, or taking a moment to think how she feels about him. I chose thinking. Definitely should make sure you're ready before jumping into anything. Next, they have 2 adoptions pop up. One for sister dogs down south and one for a handful of a dog up north. I chose bringing the sisters to their home since one was almost adopted out already, but the person decided against it last minute. Plus, it is 2. I don't get why they couldn't have done both though. If you're in that much of a rush to be a dog owner, maybe you shouldn't be a dog owner if you can't wait a week to get your dog. It ends with all of the dogs being adopted out and Barbie choosing not to be with Ken. It offers to fully restart or try getting the handful truffles a home instead. I was not about to fully restart, so I chose truffles. Truffles gets her home, and the Barbies get an opportunity to perform, but if they perform a long song, she won't have time to ride the Ferris wheel with Ken, which was the original plan the whole time. The options were to play a short or a long song. Short meaning she could also ride the Ferris wheel. I chose short because she's fucking Ken around the whole time, and I feel bad for him, so I'm trying to make her treat him better. He tells her his feelings, and the choice is to be more than friends or take things slow, and I said be together. I think I only chose that to try and make her finally decide, but she doesn't seem to like him at all, so she probably shouldn't have been with him. The sister who made the dog adoption app has a meeting to find an investor, and it crashes right before the meeting. The choice is to restart the app or make a plan B. I chose restart the app since that's what a lot of problem resolutions say to do anyway. The investor invested, and it ends with Barbie choosing to stay in town and help her sister run her app. But the movie asks if you want to start over or see what would have happened with Plan B. I chose Plan B because ain't no way I'm fully restarting. Plan B still got the investor to agree, but the Barbies also get an audition from the ad they played for the app. The Barbies move to New York with the success of their music career, and Ken tags along. The only option left is to fully restart, and no way am I doing that. I'm wondering if I had chose the other route in the beginning of the movie, if Ken wouldn't have been treated like shit this whole time. Like if Barbie just wants to date the other Barbie, then she should not be stringing Ken along. But anyway, number 27, Barbie presents Thumbelina from 2009. This one feels to be confused as to what it is. It's called Thumbelina, but it has the plot to Ferngully and ends like a Cabbage Patch Kids ad. The spoiled kid's dad is having a forest land destroyed, and that's the home of the small creatures. They realize the best way to get the kid's dad to stop is to befriend her and have her stop him. It feels weirdly manipulative, but you gotta do what you gotta do, I guess. The creatures help the kid one-up her spoiled friend, and in return, she stops the construction and gets the land protected. Number 26, Barbie and the Magic of Pegasus from 2005. Annika's parents tell her she can't ice skate anymore after she does so without permission on her birthday. They get into a fight and she runs away. A creepy guy asks her to marry and turns the kingdom to stone when she refuses. She manages to get away with Pegasus named Brietta, who she later finds out is her sister that was cursed, and that's the real reason her parents are so overprotective of her. She creates a wand out of light that reverses the curses. This one is okay. I don't enjoy the horseback riding, but I do like Shiver, the cold polar bear. Number 25, Barbie of Swan Lake from 2003. In this one, Barbie is playing Odette. She keeps transforming back and forth between her human Barbie form and a swan. She briefly meets Prince Daniel for about 2 minutes, and they fall in love, because of course they do. There's an evil lady, Odile, voiced by Maggie Wheeler, who impersonates Odette to get the prince to say he loves her, to break the protection around Odette so she can harm her. And it works, but then the veil drops and the prince is appalled and finds the real Odette, and they get married. The 2 minutes to fall in love thing isn't my favorite, but it's pretty much expected in movies like this. That's not really what makes me rank this in the lower half. What puts us low for me is that there are so many bad things with animals. The beginning of the movie shows horseback riding, then a horse gets free and accidentally chokes itself with a rope that gets stuck on a log. Then a man yanks out one of Odette's feathers, and later the prince sees Odette flying and almost shoots her with an arrow. I do not enjoy this one. Random side note, I never realized how Hedwig's theme in Harry Potter sounds so similar to the music from Swan Lake until now. That almost boosts this up for me, but not quite enough to cancel out the animal abuse. Number 24, Barbie and the Diamond Castle from 2008. Barbie as Taylor Swift, or so it feels. Liana and Alexa are best friends who make music together. One day while singing, they hear an extra voice singing along and find that it's Melody, who is trapped in a mirror, so they set out to free her and save the castle. I kinda like this one, but the song is so annoying and they use it throughout the entire movie. Plus there's 2 fuckboys chasing the girls, and I can't help but roll my eyes. Number 23, Barbie and a Mermaid Tale from 2010. Merlia turns 16 and discovers that she's a mermaid. Her mother had hidden her on land for her own safety, but Eris is an evil mermaid who finds out that she's alive and tries to capture her and rule Oceania for herself. Merlia finds her birth mom and saves Oceania. She is offered to stay down under, but decides to return to Malibu. I don't love this one. She finally finds her mom and is just like, I don't want to leave my pals up on land. Number 22, Barbie and a Nutcracker from 2001. Nutcracker and Clara, aka Barbie, have been affected by the Mouse King's magic and travel to find the Sugar Plum Princess for help. When they transform back into their natural forms, they realize she was the Sugar Plum Princess all along. The two fall in love because of course they do. I love ballet, so I feel like that's already going to put this higher than the others, but then add the fact that Tim Curry voiced the Mouse King, and it's even better. I'd like to point out the funny rock robot that was chasing after them, making sounds of the stone men in Super Mario 64. My negative remark on this is riding in horse-drawn carriages. Build a car or walk. No horse wants to drag you. Number 21, Barbie as the Island Princess from 2007. In this one, Barbie is Ro, who is the Tarzan/Eliza Thornberry of the story. She's an orphan who grew up raised by animals and can therefore speak to them, but also somehow knows English. Prince Antonio finds her and is immediately turned on by the fact that she can speak to animals, assumes that she's needing a saving, and offers to take her to the kingdom. He's supposed to marry a woman that he has nothing in common with, but he wants Ro. Queen Ariana does everything to keep Ro and Antonio apart. She bribes mice to poison all of the kingdom's animals to frame Ro, which works, and she gets banished. Then she bribes the sailor that takes her away to drown Ro and her animals, which he does, but then the dolphins save them. Ro comes and breaks up the arranged marriage, and Antonio proposes, even though she's not a princess. But wait, there's more. The queen overhears them and realizes Ro is her daughter, making her a princess after all. Antonio and Ro marry and take off on a boat with her animal family. I do like this one more than I expected myself to once I realized it was a musical, but it has more horse-drawn carriages and poisoning the animals crosses the line for me. Number 20, Barbie, a Fashion Fairy Tale from 2010. This one is so bad that it's funny. Ken calls and breaks up with Barbie over the phone, which upsets her, and she runs over to her aunt's house in Paris. Her friends find out that an evil bitch, Raquel, had tricked Ken into saying the words that he broke up with Barbie by pretending to be running lines with him, and recorded it and sent it to Barbie. When he finds out, him and her best friends agree on him not calling Barbie and flying to surprise her instead. This is a horrible idea that many movies do. It's that whole, oh, we all forgot your birthday and you cry all day about it, but we're gonna surprise you with a party because that's fun, right? No, the mental abuse people intentionally put people through under this stupid mask of, oh, it's a surprise, it's a good thing, is just bullshit. Just call her and explain so she can be okay now. At this point, Ken hadn't technically done anything wrong, but he is now. He makes it there and she is swooned by the jester because she's stupid. While she is in Paris, she was helping create a fashion show to raise money to save her aunt's building, which ends up working out when someone swoops in and buys 1,000 pieces. Number 19, The Barbie Diaries from 2006. I guess this is one of the most hated ones, but I really enjoyed it. It's so bad that I was thoroughly entertained. The animation style and whole storyline fits more for the Bratz show and is a complete copy of Mean Girls, which is what makes it so funny to me. Number 18, Barbie and the 12 Dancing Princesses from 2006. Cheaper by the dozen, Barbie edition. 12 princesses are always dancing around their castle and courtyard. They all get their shoes from a man named Derek, and Genevieve is the eldest sister and plays a motherly role to her sisters since their mother is gone and their duchess is evil. The sisters dance on special ground that transports them into a secret land, and Derek follows them there. While there, the Duchess smashes their dancing pad, which traps them there. Once freed, they curse the Duchess to dance forever. This one loses points for the use of horse-drawn carriages, but other than that, I really enjoyed it. Number 17, Barbie and the Three Musketeers from 2009. A group of girls wants to be musketeers, but the kingdom is sexist and won't allow it. Later, the prince's life is in danger, and the girls save the day, and after proving their capabilities, they're welcomed in as musketeers. I don't hate this, but I don't like when girls are supposed to be having their badass training montages and it's always stylized fighting, basically dancing. Girls don't have to do everything pretty. Also, a cat gets thrown outside and that's just rude. Number 16, Barbie, Chelsea, and the Lost Birthday from 2021. Barbie and her sisters are on vacation, and the day skips from the 9th to the 11th, meaning it skipped over Chelsea's birthday, which is the dilemma of the movie. But the number of a day isn't even real. They can still treat the day like it's her birthday, but that'd be too damn easy for them. Chelsea runs away and meets an elephant named Kelsey, who's missing her family. Chelsea's sisters end up finding her, and Chelsea gives her birthday wish to Kelsey so she can be reunited with her family. I'd like this one a lot, but the fact that the conflict isn't even a conflict bothers me. Still fun though. Number 15, Barbie and her sisters in a puppy chase from 2016. The girls travel to an island for one of their dance competitions. The puppies go missing, and the girls go looking for them with the help of the horses that are on the island for the horse festival. The puppies are safely found, and the one sister performs in the competition and wins first prize after her sisters and animals join her on stage, which I feel like is cheating. The girl who was supposed to win hands over her trophy, and it's a really awkward scene where she doesn't take it right away. Number 14, Barbie, the Pearl Princess from 2014. The royals of the ocean lost their newborn many years ago and their title. Fergus is next in line, but he doesn't want the throne. He wants to be a dentist. I'm just kidding. I can't remember the career, but I know he doesn't want to be royalty. His dad pushes him to it so he can sneak his way to power. Lumina wants to be royal and finds out about the battle for the crown, so she comes and saves the day. While there, she realizes that she's the heir to the throne and meets her parents. This is like the plot of Barbie as the island princess, but with mermaids. Number 13, Barbie and her sisters in the Great Puppy Adventure from 2015. Barbie and her sisters go to visit their grandmother and get puppies. While there, they find out that the town is in a tough financial spot and hear about a treasure that their grandfather believed in. The girls go on a treasure hunt with their puppies, and once they find the treasure, it goes to save the town. Number 12, Barbie and the Pink Shoes from 2013. Kristen buys new ballet shoes that teleport her and her friend, Haley, into the story of Swan Lake. As soon as they arrive, Kristen dances with a prince. The Snow Queen sends her lackey to transform the girls into swans, and it can only be reversed by true love's kiss, so she goes to dance with him. While dancing, the curse is broken, but the Snow Queen freezes Haley. Kristen gets her free, and they return to the real world where Kristen performs a solo in the ballet and gets offered to be the inspiration of a new ballet. Number 11, Barbie as Rapunzel. Her witch guardian has made sure that Rapunzel has never left the castle. One day, after being criticized by the witch, Rapunzel ventures off to discover the world outside. She tries saving a little girl who's fallen down a hole and almost falls in herself, but a man catches her, and then she runs back into the castle. The witch is so angry with her that she casts a spell locking her inside. She uses a magic paintbrush to teleport out and meet up with the man who helped her. She asks him not to tell her his identity, and he invites her to the prince's party, while not telling her that he's the prince. The witch cuts off her hair and then wears it to the party and gets the prince to chase after her, which is so creepy to think about. The scene where she's running around getting him to follow her is straight out of a horror movie. Rapunzel breaks out and marries the prince. The witch gets trapped in her castle, and Rapunzel's animal friends move with her into her new castle. The dragon, Penelope, is voiced by Cree Summer, who also voices Susie Carmichael in Rugrats. If they do a Rugrats remake, I feel like Awkwafina could make a great Susie. But back to this. I feel like the final message of the movie was to paint your dreams, which is random, but I like it. The credit song is way too catchy for its own good, but I couldn't find the name. I love this one more than I should, but it loses points for horseback riding. Number 10, Barbie, the Princess and the Pop Star from 2012. This is basically the camp rock version of Model Behavior with Barbies. A princess dreams of being a rock star, and a rock star dreams of being a princess until they meet and swap places. They have fun in each other's shoes, but ultimately it helps them realize how to be better in their own. The story isn't original, and the performing scenes make me cringe, but I would have had this on repeat if I had watched this as a kid, so this pushes this up in my ranking. Number 9, Barbie and a Mermaid Tale 2, from 2012. Merlia is in a surfing competition against Kylie, who is very jealous of the attention Merlia gets. Merlia's mom tells her that an important ceremony is the same night as her competition and that she has to skip it, but she refuses. A sketchy fish comes and convinces Kylie to steal her necklace and become a mermaid herself, which she originally agrees to but tries backing out on last minute and gets trapped until Merlia comes to save her. Eris is causing trouble to gain control of the seas, but Merlia saves the day with the help of Kylie, and they fall in love and live happily ever after. I may have exaggerated that last part, but I swear they're in love. Also, is it not racial stereotyping to always make the surfing characters Australian? I'm surprised this movie hasn't been canceled yet. Number 8. Barbie Fairytopia, Magic of the Rainbow from 2007. Alina and Bibble travel to the palace for apprenticeship training. Bibble makes a new friend, Dizzle. The fairies in training all have to perform a special ritual when the rainbow appears, or the kingdom will be frozen for 10 years. Laverna poses as the fairy's sunburst to ruin the ritual, but Alina steps in to save the day. The movie ends with a Bibble and Dizzle smooch. Number 7. Barbie Fairytopia Mermaidia from 2006. A sequel to Fairytopia. Alina hears that Nalu has been kidnapped for his knowledge of where the immunity plant is, and she goes to save him. In order to do that, she has to risk losing her wings that she just got in the first movie, and could get stuck as a mermaid instead. She gets help from a mermaid named Nori to get the mirror that will save Nalu. The concept in these are so strange. She thinks she gets stuck as a mermaid, but the fairies come to help her get her wings back, and Nalu and Nori get together. Overall, this one was fun, and I'm grateful for the lack of horseback riding. Number 6. Barbie, Princess Charm School from 2011. Blair is a waitress taking care of her sick mom and little sister. Her sister enters her in some sweepstakes that gets her into a school of princesses that is supposed to help her family. It is set up like an etiquette school, but at the end, one will actually be crowned princess. While there, Blair finds out that she's actually heir to the throne, and the woman who's almost crowned helps prove it, so the rightful princess is crowned. A quote they use throughout the movie is, "No one can make you feel inferior without your consent." And I'm 14, and this is deep. Number 5. Barbie's Starlight Adventure from 2016. A space movie. I had watched a few duds before this one, so I was happy to find that I enjoyed it. This one has Xenon vibes and has that futuristic food like in Phil of the Future. Barbie travels to Capital Planet to try and save the galaxy from going dark. While there, she makes new friends who can help her save the day. Her pet companion in this one is named Popcorn, and it's basically a squishmallow until it pops into a cat. Number 4. Barbie, Mariposa, and the Fairy Princess from 2013. The Romeo and Juliet of the Barbieverse. The butterfly fairies have judgments of the crystal/glass/light fairies. I heard them call all three, so I'm not sure which is their official title, and vice versa. The king sends Mariposa into enemy territory to offer an olive branch. Each land thinks the other is out to get them. Mariposa falls in love, befriends Katiana. I don't remember how to say her name. And their love breaks the barrier between the lands. I really enjoyed this one. Her animal friend in this reminds me of a minion, but I actually enjoy the humor in this, so it's cute instead of annoying. Number 3. Barbie, A Fairy Secret from 2011. Princess Graciela is under a love potion that causes her to be infatuated with Ken, so she starts doing everything she can to marry him, including kidnapping him. It turns out she was put under the spell by some other girl who loves her boyfriend. There's a huge tangle love octagon going on in this movie. You can't convince me that Barbie and Raquel aren't in love. Sorry, Ken. In order to save Ken, Barbie gets wings and they get taken to a shop to find the right wings for them. And I can't help but think of Ollivander's shop in Harry Potter, which made me like this even more. Number 2. Barbie, Mariposa, and her butterfly fairy friends from 2008. Alina narrates this one as she tells Bibble a story. Queen Marcella's assistant, Henna, poisons the queen to take over. Prince Carlos trusts Mariposa and gives her the map to find the antidote for the queen. Mariposa's annoying friends steal the map to go get it themselves, but demand Mariposa go anyway. They bribe creatures to help with fluttercorn, which is much like Bibble from Victorious, aka just drugs. They're heavily addicted to drugs. Mariposa saves the day, and the prince ousts Henna for her wrongdoings. I'm surprised that multiple of these children movies have poisonings, but alright. The overall message in this is to stay true to yourself. And coming in at number 1, in first place, is Barbie Fairytopia from 2005. Barbie is a fairy without wings in this movie. Her name is Elena. In Wizard of Oz fashion, there's an evil sister of the fairy queen. The queen is kidnapped, and Elena is the only one who is resistant to the evil one, Laverne's powers. She travels through Fairytopia to save the queen and makes friends along the way. There's a sweet moment in this where Elena first arrives and she asks one of the fairies why there are so many empty seats at the table, and she's told they're for the friends she hasn't met yet. Such a positive outlook. This ends with Elena getting her wings. That's it. All 42 animated Barbie movies ranked. I was surprised I actually enjoyed quite a few of these. I think after developing my Hallmark movie addiction last year, I now like bad movies. I can't even tell if these are bad. I know some of these are bad, but are some of them good, or are they just so bad that they're good? I don't even know what's real anymore. I'm stoked to see the live-action movie this week. Let me know what you think of it, and how does your ranking differ from mine? I'd love to hear it, and I'll post again when I feel like it. After editing, I realized that I forgot my main conclusion after finishing all of these, and that is that Barbie is 100% a lesbian. I swear she is in love with all of her female companions on the show, and you can't convince me otherwise.